everyone. I have Laura's Sketches Reimagined for you today. So you saw the sketch, and I'm also going to be going ahead and using Tracy Reed's Scrap Harder Challenge. I'm using the prompt to find the oldest thing in your stash and use it. The oldest thing in my stash are those circle punches from Creative Memories. They have to be 20 years old because they were the very first tool I ever bought back in the day when I first started scrapbooking. For products, I'm going to be using my H2KAKWS style for the month of January. So I'm going to use that kind of plaid paper, and then I'm going to use the speckle tone cardstock that I got with that I put in my kit. I'm going to back that with some tearaway tape from Spiegelmom Scraps, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere the speckle tone cardstock to my plaid background paper. I have two wonderful YouTubers joining me today. Their videos are already up. So I have Vanessa Bell and Amber Hurdle. Both are joining me for today's sketch. I will link their videos down below so you can hop over and give them some love. Maybe find a new YouTuber to watch. They're both super uber talented girls, and they both have rather new YouTube channels. So they would absolutely love to have some more subscribers and support doing what they do best. Okay, now that I have that speckle tone paper onto the plaid paper, I'm going to cut down this piece of vellum. So this is the parchment vellum that was part of my kit. I am cutting it down to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 so I can place it right there onto my photo. I know at the beginning of this, you only got to see the sketch for a brief minute, so I added it to the end of my video in case you want a better look at it. And you can also always head over to my Pinterest boards. I have, my Pinterest boards have a board called Sketches I've Used. And in there, you will find all of the Laura Whitaker sketches and all of my Chanel sketches that I used for my last series. So I went ahead and punched a bunch of circles out of that vellum, and we're going to use those punched vellum circles to back up the circle stickers that are part of the kit. The sketch calls for some strips and some layers behind the area where the photos and the circles are. So I'm going to go ahead and use that black and white polka dot paper, a piece of that. I'm going to use a piece of that patterned green paper, and then I'm going to use some vellum paper to create those layers that go behind the photo. So once I'm happy with those and I like the placement of them, I'm just going to go ahead and put them down. And what that does is that vellum is going to kind of add a layer over the black and white paper, allowing it to be part of the layout and still quite visible, but it does, adding the two layers, vellum and the green pattern paper on top of it, helps to kind of break it down a little bit so it doesn't become the main point of the paper, which can, or the main focus of your layout, which can happen when you're using a very bold paper like this. So next up, I want to do something for a title. I want to do something a little bit different. I am going to veer a little bit away from the sketch in this regard. So the sketch calls for a 3x4 card there with the title on top of it. I'm going to use a selection of embellishments instead. So I'm kind of going through some Color Cast Designs products. I know I ordered a couple of her fall titles and acrylics, and so I decided I want to use one of those. So I'm going to use this one that says Fall Faves, and then I'm going to kind of flick through some of them. I have lots of acrylic titles to use here in my scrapbook room. I kind of tend to buy them and then sort of forget about them, so I've decided that we're going to stop doing that, and I've put them front and center onto my on my scrap desk to try to use them because I really love them. So now what I want to do is, so the sketch calls for something that looks like maybe a cut file or a die cut paper, and you could certainly do that, but I want to use my circle punch. So I can be part of, this will be my second Scrap Harder project for January. So, and that catches me up and keeps me on track to finish her challenge. So I wanted to definitely use the oldest thing in my stash. And then I also wanted to use the circle stickers that are part of my How to Kill a Kit with Style, and I want to use my vellum, so I'm going to kind of do my own thing here. I punched out 6 vellum circles, and now what I'm going to do is add one of those Prima circle stickers to each one of the vellum stickers. So I'm making sure that they aren't like they're alternated, right? So I don't want 2 of the same pattern circles beside each other. So I have a vellum circle behind each of those sticker circles from Prima. I hope that makes sense. And I'm just going to kind of move them around till I get them into a position that I like. So these are going to act as bases for a little bit of a small amount of like detailed embellishments that I'm going to add on each of those circles. I also went ahead and cut some of those cameras from the Chamel paper. I'm going to use a couple of those as well. I think I ended up using 3. I'm just adhering my photo down a little bit more because initially I had just put a little bit of tape on the middle of it, so that allowed me to kind of tuck things up and around. Now I'm going to go ahead and get those vellum circles that also have the sticker. I'm going to go ahead and pop those onto my page. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue down this Fall Faves acrylic piece. I'm just going to hold it there a minute till it's kind of stuck down good. I did leave a little open space around it, so when I glued it down, I didn't glue down the edges because that allowed me to do that. Put that little camera underneath. I'm going to use these 2 cardstock die cut pieces from Scrap and Happy Studio. These die cut pieces are so fun and so high quality. I really hope Jenny continues to do them because they are super cool. I'm going to use 2 of them. One says "Boys will be boys," and one says "You are totally awesome." So this is a photo of my oldest son, Morgan. He is holding a wanted poster that says "Reward $10,000. This was taken when we were at one of our fall festivals, the fall festival pumpkin patch things we went to. We had one day where we went out with our masks. I took loads of pictures. And so I ended up having a whole fall album for 2020 because we then went and got family pictures taken. Outside, again, social distancing, very, very safe and good. So I have one of those little cameras beside my photo, or beside that acrylic block. And then I have the 2 cardstock pieces, and then I'm going to tuck in this top one. I also went ahead and added 2 of the epoxy flares that were part of my kit into the circles. That will help to bring in a little bit more orange. I wanted to make sure that I added in some orange because I want to use those cork leaves from Freckled Fawn, and I don't want this to be a monochromatic layout. It kind of started out that way, which was not my intention. That's just how it worked as I started putting it together. And then as I create my clusters, I'm going to pull in some more color because I do want a bit more color in this layout. So I'm going to take those 3 cameras, kind of create a little triangle there that your eye can kind of follow if it would like to. And now I'm going to grab these cork stickers. So I'm going to use these cork stickers to fill in and add some detail to the circles that don't have the epoxy flare. And then I'm also going to use one of these cork right there because I had a little bit of a gappy spot and I wanted to fill that in with something because I don't like the look of like, I don't know, I call them gappy spots, but I think the professional term is white space or trapped space. So I'm just going to sprinkle around some of those little cork stickers Not too many, just a few in some certain areas. And now I'm going to take some of these smaller circle stickers and I'm going to tuck them around in different areas of my layout. They don't provide a lot of visual weight, but they just add a little bit to certain areas. And again, just to add some clustering and some little kind of sprinkly bits around. You guys know how much I love my sprinkly bits. So how did I switch up this sketch? I changed up the title placement and I changed up how that title area goes. So I kind of made it one cluster of elements, and in the sketch, it's to be a 3x4 project life card that you would put your title on top of. Instead of using a cut file or a die cut paper, I went ahead and just punched some circles and put them at the top and bottom of my page. And I think that's about it. I definitely added my own little spin to this for sure. Last but not least, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, wait, no, I'm not done yet. I added a lot of circles to this layout. I have those little Prima stickers that have been in my stash this whole time unused. Oh, they are seeing the usage. This is the second layout I've gotten out of this kit for January, and I think I'm only going to be able to get one more layout out of this kit. My first layout, the Corona coaster one, I used a lot of the product, and this one I used a lot of product. So I did a fall layout, which is what I wanted. I used that beautiful Hambly paper, which I totally wanted to do. So next up, we're going to try to do a school layout before the end of the month, because I still have those big pink paisley like medallion things, and I really don't want to leave them unopened in my kit. So I am grabbing some sequins. And these are Black Eyed Susan sequins. They're released from a couple months ago from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and I kind of really love them. And again, this is going to add more of that little pop of orange. So what I am doing, where I have the little stickers, they're either one by themselves or they're two together. So what I'm doing is where there are two together, I'm adding one sequin to make a cluster of 3. When there is one, I'm just adding one to it. Again, to help round out that clusters and to bring in a little bit more color to the page that's not green or aqua. And that is where we're going to call this one done. Be sure to head over and take a peek at Amber and Vanessa's layouts. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you all again very, very soon. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you stick around and hit that subscribe button, and feel free to leave any comments down below because I do read them and reply. I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye.